everyone. I'm going to do a review for your guys' assignment today. So here we have question 2. It says, what is the enthalpy change for the following reaction? C3H8 plus 5O2 makes 3 CO2s plus 4 waters. Now, if you see, it gives us our different enthalpies for each one of these compounds. It is also missing oxygen, but we know that since oxygen is a diatomic, it has no enthalpy, so it's just 0, so it doesn't really matter to us. So our first step, here I have a bunch of steps. First, multiply the enthalpy of the compound by its coefficient. To do that, we need to find the compound and its coefficient, C3H8. Its coefficient right here, since there's nothing there, is 1, so it stays the same. CO2s, let's go down to CO2. We find CO2 in the problem. Its coefficient is 3, so we're going to multiply this one by 3. We do that. We get, can you get me a calculator, please? Can you do this? 393.5 times 3. Okay, we get negative 1,180.5. All right, then we do this for water. Water has a coefficient of 4. We're going to multiply that one by 4. 286 times 4. We get 1,144 negative. Make sure it's very important that we notice the signs of our enthalpies. Now that we've done step 1, number 2 is actually very simple. To find the final answer, or the change in enthalpy, we need to take the sum. This is what this E looks like, this weird squiggle. Sum of the enthalpy of our products minus the sum of our enthalpy of our reactants. So what does that look like? So we have our values now. We're not going to use these ones. We're going to use the new ones we calculated. Now, we need to define our products. So we need the H of H2O plus, because this is the sum of, plus the H of CO2 minus the sum of the reactants, the H of the reactants. The reactant that we have here is C3H8, and that is just minus the H of C3H8. So let's plug our values in. So for H2O, we have negative 1,144 plus negative 1,180.5. Do that. Minus negative 103.8. So whenever we add these two negatives together, we get negative 2,324.5 plus 103.8. Why did this change to a plus here? Because these are two negatives. A minus minus a minus makes a plus. Okay? So we take negative 2,324.5 plus 103.8. And we get 2,324.5 minus. Oh, don't.
No, you're good now.
Thank you. We get negative 2,220.7. Remember, this is very important that you recognize the signs. So we have a negative here, and we're adding to it. So it actually decreases the number. Actually, increases it. So it goes from negative 2,324 to negative 2,200.7. And that would be your change in enthalpy. This would also be, since we are losing heat, this would be known as an exothermic reaction. And I know this from the sign. Now, hopefully this helps you in the future ones.